Hey there everybody, how's it going? I'm Donnie, Darrrko, and this is...
I'm Zach, aka Humansausge from Beards and Blastbeats.
And we're coming at you. This is our first video, and we're gonna go over what we think are the best 5 metal, hard rock, primarily metal albums of this year.
We are coming at you live from my downstairs mix-up.
My downstairs mix-up.
AKA the basement.
AKA the basement in my house. So I'll fire it off here. I'm going to start off with a little bit of a local album here. Pantheon's The Absence. Man, I don't know why I haven't heard about Oak Pantheon to this point, living in Minnesota my entire life, living in Minneapolis for years now. Man, this album, it's super progressive. Almost got this Minnesota, like, almost like this backwoods vibe, right? Like, it's got this, it's cool, like, metal backwoods singer-songwritery. Like, this thing would fit in a cabin as well. It's gonna fit in some sort of, like, dank underground club live, like, in front of a mosh pit. Like, this shit's wild, man.
Yep. So it came out on January 20th. Like, I really like this one too. It had kind of Agalloch, Opeth, Luna's Call kind of vibes, a lot of folky, kind of pagan, nature-y kind of aspect to it. I really dug it too.
No, absolutely. It's got absolute killer vibe, incredible songwriting. Yeah, man. I mean, I think it's been, I think it was a solid 5 or 6 years, if I remember. Don't quote me on that. Since their last album, before this one, it had been a minute. But man, like, they're back and they need to stay. Like, these guys slap. Yeah, very proud to put a local on my top 5 here so far.
My first pick is going to be, the band's called The World Is Quiet Here. The album name is Zon, and it came out, let's see, checking my notes here, January 27th. And this album is just all over the place. It's very technical. It's definitely in the progressive kind of environment going on. I likened it to bands like Barren Earth, Between the Buried and Me, The Deer Hunter. Man, it's even got like some Lamb of God vibes. Aether Realm, Gorog, Ackercock. It's got power metal stuffs, odd time signatures. The dude sings in falsettos, and he's got death metal growls, and it's just, there's so much going on. It's super dynamic. It's just all over the place. It's heavy. It's calm. It's chill. It's just everything you want for, you know, just not a straight through metal album. Just kind of ticks all the boxes for me.
No, this one absolutely. This one made my list too. Zon is absolutely a top 5 banger. The lyrics, or not the lyrics, the vocals absolutely was one thing that kind of took me back, right? It surprised me in the sense that they were so incredibly dynamic. The dude's all over the face, and his cleans are just, like, this dude has got to be classically trained. Incredible, incredible talent. The fact that this album kind of, I can sit down and just listen to it, right? But when you sit down and listen to it, like really dig into it, I mean, there's just so much to pick apart where...
It's super dense. There's like so much. You gotta listen to it like 5 times to like gather it all in.
Yeah, you can always kind of pick out like new stuff, new things they're doing. So yeah, incredible talent, man. Insane. It's absolutely insane. Yeah, no, a top 5 for me as well, for sure. We got And Oceans. The album is As in Gardens, So in Tombs. Pretty wild title. This thing, so for me, I don't normally dive into, right, like the black, this kind of like post-black kind of stuff. But holy crap, man. This album drew me in, and just the ambiance of it, really ambient, dense. Again, a lot of that black metal, straight ahead, you know, kind of shoegazy sort of vibes. Really, really cool. Really cool not only to just sit down and jam in the car or jam at home while you're doing something, but just to sit down, you know, in your bedroom, wherever, stare at the ceiling and just let it kind of carry you off. I mean, it was one of those albums that it doesn't get old. The vocals were pretty straight ahead, but it's not for lack of talent that they're not dynamic, right? These people are incredibly talented for sure. I absolutely fell in love with the album. Incredible listen, and it was incredible, especially considering it's been winter until today in Minnesota. So the winter listen, that crappy weather listen, man, absolute banger.
Yep. Yeah, and this was pretty close to my list too. Also a January 27th release, and I've got a lot of the same kind of points he said. I likened it kind of to bands like Demi Bourgeois, Garia, The Spirit. Vocalist was just super powerful. There's a lot of synth in it. It's really cool. All right, so my next pick, it's another band related to oceans. Go figure. This band is Ocean of Grief. The album is Pale Existence, and it came out March 3rd, pretty recent. Let's see, so it's definitely like a heavy death doom mix. Those albums are just usually like super powerful. What I really liked about this one the most is there's almost a constant dual melodic guitar kind of going on in the background. And just super beautiful. They got great leads and solos. I kind of likened it to bands, definitely like Insomnium. It's got super moody, gloomy vibes to it. Draconian, Swallow the Sun, My Dying Bride. So there's a big doom aspect to it, but it's still got that depth. It's still heavy. It's powerful. There's lots of growling, but there's just this constant guitars going on. Like sometimes there's just almost two leads going at the same time. It just blew my mind. I really liked it.
No, man, when you take something like a doomy sound and you add kind of like that buzzsaw chainsaw aggression of raw death metal into it, that type of sound, anytime I can find that, I just think that's the coolest thing in the world, man. It's great. No, Oceans of Grief, definitely a good pick. So I got, and I hope this is how you pronounce it, Hypnos Sheol.
There's a 5 in there.
There's a 5. Yeah, man. So I hope I'm saying all that right, but go find it, figure it out, listen to it. This album is absolutely wild. It starts off real soft, but don't be surprised when all of a sudden the aggression like smacks you in the face. Man, this album, it dances back and forth really well between this like clean, melodic, really almost like pretty, sing-songy kind of vibe, and then it draws into this sort of, the harsh vocals come out, which are incredibly well done. The aggressive instrumentals of like a death metal or a progressive death metal sound. So this album was just fun to listen to. I found myself like smiling straight up because of some of the transitions they had. Truly incredible feat of songwriting, this one.
For sure. And I got some notes on this one too. February 24th release. Super atmospheric, a lot of synth, some sludge going on in there. Mostly sung vocals, but definitely they get some powerful screams in there too. Tons of dynamics. The album's just full of heaviness and atmosphere and chill parts and whatnot. And I kind of likened it to bands like Soen, Muse even. There's just some huge grooves in there, and it's just crazy. Some intronaut. There's lots of polyrhythms. Very rhythmic backbone to some of the songs. Polyphia, because there's lots of instrumental stuff. I think it's most like Abstract Illusion, because they got a lot of cleans and some harsh, long songs, long compositions. And then the band 3 kind of reminded me of them too.
No, hyper progressive. If progressive metal is in any way, or progressive rock is in any way your thing, man, this is a must listen, in my opinion.
For sure, check it out. We think it's Hypnos. There's a 5 in there.
Yeah, there's a 5. Yeah, have fun finding it, but I hope I...
Definitely check it out.
Yeah,
for sure. I'll go next. So my fourth on my list is Obliviscaris. The album is Exul, I believe, and it just came out March 24th. They label themselves as extreme progressive metal, and I believe they're Australian.
Australian, I think, yeah.
6-piece, big band, got some violins. You've probably heard of them. If not, please check them out. This stuff's insane. This is, for a lot of people, a lot of the lists online I'm seeing, this is like the album of the year so far. I know it's only March, but man, this is catching a lot of ears. There's so many dynamics in this. There's tons of violin parts. You got harsh vocals, you got clean sung vocals, you got beautiful guitar solos. Just, it's super heavy, it's super chill. For me, it's all about the dynamics. I want the angry parts, the melody parts, the moody parts. I want to feel something, and this album blows my mind, gives me exactly what I need in all those areas. Everything that they've done prior to this is, caught a lot of attention, and this is no different. This album's amazing. Check it out.
No, this is definitely like I love prog metal myself, of course, like the progressive death metal. And no, man, I absolutely agree. It's a huge album. It's very dense with a lot of stuff, again, to pick apart. The violin stuff is so cool. I think you don't hear a lot of violin in death metal.
And it fits really good with the moodiness, and it just adds a lot of character.
It sets that kind of dark, spooky vibe a little bit. Fun fact, I think I heard about this band when, I could be wrong, don't quote me, but I think this was the band that the drummer, I think, quit his job as like a train conductor to like do the band full time. Like, and this was years ago that I read about this.
Here, I don't know.
Yeah, no, this was years ago. I think that's where I heard about them. Was I read on like Metal Sucks or like some other blog that that he quit his job full time as a train conductor to play drums for this band. And if that's true, and I'm not thinking of a different band, then this has clearly worked out for him.
Well, hell yeah. I mean, yeah. Everything about these guys is amazing. It's very dense. There's a lot of layers to it. Try to listen to it in full. I mean, I guess that's kind of an obvious statement.
Right.
We're all about the album form here. Some say that's a dying breed, but
No.
whatever. Fuck 'em.
The full album is an art form, man.
Yeah.
Like front to back, that's an art form. Absolutely. And this one's no different.
Hell yeah. Check it out. Your next pick.
All right, so my last one that I got on my list, it's a little bit shorter, but it is no less incredible. Demon King's Visanya. So Demon King released an album, was it last year, 2 years ago?
I think their first EP.
I think the first EP was last year.
I think last year, yeah. Or 1 or 2 years ago.
Yeah, not too long ago. Absolute banger. That one ripped my face off. This one is no different. Again, this one's, I think, 3 or 4 tracks only.
Yeah.
It's pretty
if
short.
there is a genre of face-melting death metal, this fits that.
No, this is absolutely it. This is one, man, I had to listen to it a bunch of times because you can't take everything in the first time. The first time in, you almost have to just give yourself up to it and just get punched in the chest over and over by it, man. You just have to get viciously abused by it for, its whole runtime a couple of times before you can stop bleeding from the ears and listen. Absolute wild tech death. Guitars all over the damn place. Everyone's going nuts almost the whole time, and it almost doesn't make sense until you're able to really dig into it.
Yep.
And man, it's so worth any effort you have to give it. It's Demon King is really they're gonna be something, man.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's a supergroup of sorts. Now, I don't have enough info in front of me to figure that out.
I think you're right, though.
Yep. So I'll add some notes here. So March 10th release, pretty recent, I guess a month ago. My very top notes on this is very angry, blackened tech death. And oh my god, it speaks for itself. It's very fast, it's thrashy, it's melodic, full of leads and solos, a higher range raspy screamer. I likened it to bands like Arsis, Black Dahlia Murder, and Hoth.
That's fair.
It rips your face off, and it's so good. Check it out. All right, my last pick, let me find it here, checking my notes, the band Liturgy. And this just came out March 24th. The album is 93696. I don't know what that means. I don't really care. They label themselves as experimental, black metal, avant-garde metal, and it really fits because it's kind of all over the place. Think kind of Death Heaven with a female singer. Hey man, your phone's going off.
I blew it.
So like a female singer, and she goes from screaming, very similar to Death Heaven, to where it's very dense. It's definitely a black metal, kind of an experimental black metal with a very dense vocal, kind of pushed in the back. But then the interludes, the songs in between, the heavier songs are like her singing in an angelic kind of voice, and 2 minutes here singing like all pretty like, and then you get a 10-minute song of like this really weird melodic black metal stuff, and dude, it's a lot. It's another super dense album. It's a lot to take in. The runtime is like 1 hour and 22 minutes. Some of my notes, I'm like chaotic post metal, really abstract, mostly like Death Heaven, like I said. But I also kind of got some Protest the Hero vibes, kind of upbeat, punky. Maybe crucified for saying that, but some post metal stuff.
I would say that kind of positive reinforcement metalcore stuff.
Which yeah, kind of, because I'm liking it like Death Heaven, because it's not like your super suicidal, grim black metal. It's more of your modern black metal, which I know is
that's a point of contention.
Yeah,
I think among black metal fans,
very
like the
well
purists.
said. Yeah, and you know what? I love it for what it is. I think they did a great job. So those are both of our 5 releases for the first quarter of the year, 2023. These are what we think are the best metal albums, rock metal albums so far released this year. So we have a spreadsheet that we read a lot of notes. We kind of have our own ranking system and all that nonsense. And I'm going to post it down below the description. If you're interested in following, definitely save it, follow it, print it out, burn it, whatever feels comfortable. We're not trying to be pretentious. We just love metal music. We're deeply passionate about metal and rock albums and everything. And this is just our contribution back to all these bands that we get inspired from, and we love them, and it's great. And if you're interested in hearing more of our content, or whatever related to this, do the thing, do the like, do the comment, tell us how much.
Smash that follow button.
Yeah, subscribe us. Whatever you're seeing this on, or we're hearing this on. Maybe this is a podcast. Hopefully we turn it into that too. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell us how much we suck, or tell us how much you agree with us or disagree with us. Tell us your 5 top albums of the first quarter of the year. And yeah, I mean, we love doing this, and we'd love to hear some feedback, and we'd love to keep doing it. So
absolutely. Also, if you want to hear us or see us, read us, hear us in your mind's ear, we do write. You can hit us on Facebook at Beards and Blastbeats on Facebook. We do have an Instagram page that we probably need to fire back up here. It's been a little out of date, which is fine. And we write at the Beards and Blastbeats. I think it's beardsandblastbeats.wordpress. /something. We'll have to figure
We'll link
that
that too.
We'll link it.
We'll make it easy for you.
We have made the turn, I guess, on Beards and Blastbeats towards a lot of Minneapolis local metal. So if any of you are not Minnesota natives that are seeing this, that's going to be your place to be, where we write about a ton of that stuff, but we also will hit up, top album lists once in a while as far as a big scale. So.
Yep, and we've been getting some recommendations in to listen to and give a review of some bands, and that's awesome. That blows our mind, even though we're like nobodies still. I mean, it's really cool. We respect everybody. We're gonna do the best we can for every band out there, every song. We're going to a show tonight. We're going to see Suffering Hour, Sunless, and Noctambulist. Total black metal show. It's gonna kick our ass.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. Can't fucking wait.
If you see us out, say what's up. Say what's up if you come across any of us, and if we were wrong about all these albums, then like tell us in person, man.
Yeah.
We'll talk metal with anyone for probably way too long.
Hell yeah. I'm definitely about that, let's chat. Let's chat the metals. So I guess that's it. So for Beards and Blastbeats, my name's Donnie. I go by Darrrko, and have a metal day.
Absolutely. Zach, aka Human Sausage on Beards and Blastbeats. Check you guys later.